George, pretty simple equation from here. Win 3 games in a row and take the trophy home.
Yeah, we spoke about that last night. It's we think our record in knockout tournaments has been pretty good in recent history. So the way we're looking at it is we've really got a quarter-final, semi-final and final to go.
Do you reckon the change of scenery a little bit, getting out of Joburg and out of that sort of bowler's graveyard up in the high veld, it might be a bit of a freshen up of everyone as well?
We'll have to change. We'll have to adapt pretty quickly. There's pros and cons of playing, and it doesn't really matter where we play because both teams will be in the same conditions. But certainly, I guess for the quicks, it'll be nice to get out of the high altitude. But our guys are very new to international cricket. A lot of our bowlers, so wherever we go, they're going to have to learn and adapt really quickly.
How are the guys how do you feel they're going? I mean, they're obviously, it's a tough experience to come away on a tour of South Africa against a very strong batting lineup and be thrust straight into it. How are they handling it, do you feel?
The bowlers?
Yeah.
Pretty well, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think back to your first couple of games. It's nerve-wracking. Take the conditions and take the opponents and anything else out of it. It's nerve-wracking enough. So I think they've all got the skills. There's no doubt about that. And I think they've all shown glimpses, and it's just a matter of them learning from each game. And I guess that's the thing in international sport or international cricket with these series, where the games come thick and fast, is you don't really have too much time to sit back and reflect. You've got to take what you can, take the positives out of it, learn what you need to learn, and then throw it all out there in the next game.
Given the white ball results in Sri Lanka, is there something that you can put your finger on that's different apart? Is it just conditions and personnel? Is there anything that's going to change?
3 things, I think. We just haven't batted, bowled or fielded very well yet. So that's probably the thing to improve going forward. I actually think we've certainly got a young bowling attack, but I think the thing that's been most disappointing has been our batting the last 2 games. So we were under par in game 1 and yesterday. 360 is a big total, but you saw on that ground there was great value for money. The ball flew everywhere, and our run rate is actually going pretty well. I think all the batters are actually hitting the ball really well. No one's getting 100, and the South Africans have had a guy score 100 in each of those games. So as much as I guess the focus could be on our young bowling attack, I think it's the batters that have got to step up. Bit of this can go away as well.
I guess how much do you think it shows just how important guys like Mitchell and Josh have become to this team? I mean, Mitch, just with that extra dynamic of pace, I guess it seems to be something that's perhaps a little bit lacking with what we've got over here and what's on offer here is just that extra zip.
I guess what you're talking about is 2 of your best players, and I think you look at any team and you take 2 of your best players out. The flip side of that is, I guess South Africa would say that they've got AB de Villiers and maybe Hashim Amla not playing. So that's just what you have to deal with. And as I said, I think the guys, the quicks that we've got have got the skills, and they're going to be learning really quickly. And there's probably no better spot to learn than against the best. And they will have to adapt and they will have to learn, and I'm sure they will.
No more margin for error, though, as you talked about, with that whole 3 games, and you can't afford to drop one from now on.
No, there isn't. But as I said, I think it's the batters that actually have to step up. I think our bowling, if we can actually bat to our capabilities, I think that'll put South Africa under a bit more pressure, both with the ball and then put their batters under a bit more pressure as well. So we have to step up. We've been trying to get in touch with Tom Liberatore after his stunning 100 at the MCG on the weekend against Colin Miller, but unfortunately seems to have been locked away the last couple of days. He's been very hard to get hold of.
Reaching out to him on Snapchat, there's been no response.
No, not yet. No, but we're desperate to hear from Libba. So, mate, I know you're having a hell of a mad Monday, as you should be with the rest of the boys, but we need your help. Any tips would be greatly appreciated.
Is there a feeling on the batting group that you're having to knuckle down in Sri Lanka because conditions were so difficult that they're almost got a bit ahead of themselves with the ball coming onto the bat, maybe playing a few shots, trying to invent things that aren't there?
I don't think so. I think guys are... I don't think there's been any really audacious dismissals. It's just we're just getting out. I know the first couple of training sessions we actually spoke about the fact that you could hit the ball again, and it was a bit of a shock to get into that rhythm of getting that value and being able to play with the freedom. But I don't think that that's been an issue. It's just a matter of guys, once they get that start, turning it into a really big score. and maybe credit needs to go to South Africa. They might be bowling, bowling more consistently and putting us under more pressure. But I think we've got a really strong batting lineup. It's just time for us to stand up.
And Davey Warner spoke in Sri Lanka about people come to one-day games to watch big scores, lots of 4s and 6s. They don't care about bowlers. Do you enjoy those sort of games where there's almost one element of the contest is removed, isn't it? Conditions like yesterday, bowlers have got nothing.
I disagree. I think bowlers still had plenty to go with. I think if you look at the way that Steyn, Rabada bowled, I thought our bowlers were a bit unlucky. I thought we beat the bat enough early on. I think there's enough on display there. I don't necessarily think it's too one-sided. It's just a matter of how you actually respond to that. But the beauty is, if you look at our last couple of series and the different spots they've been around the world, we've had some low-scoring, hard-to-bat ones. There's been a couple that have been high-scoring. I don't know what we're going to get here. Obviously, altitude does play a big part in terms of high scores. Certainly at the Wanderers, I think the par score is at about 340 there, and it probably looks like it's a huge total, but certainly coming off the ground yesterday, we thought we'd done reasonably well in the last 10 overs to sort of restrict them to 360, and we're quite positive that if we batted well, we were a chance to get them. So, no point dwelling too much on those. It's really about now finding out the conditions here and what the wicket's going to be like, and then adapting to it really quickly and starting really well. I think whatever we do in Game 3, that's going to be really important, trying to get on top of South Africa and keep a bit of keep the ascendancy.
I think all the guys who have come over here who are uncapped have played a game now, at least one. Do you think that's going to help them going forward? It sort of gets that first game nerves, jitters, whatever out of the way. They've got the debut done. They can sort of focus on getting back to doing what they're supposed to be doing and what's got them here in the first place.
I'm sure they would have been doing that anyway. So there's no doubt that the more you play, then the more comfortable you get, and the easier it is to be able to express your skills. So no doubt they'll be learning. I mean, they'll be learning it every second they're on this tour, taking something out on and off the field of how they can improve and how they can get better, and I'm sure they will. But I'll keep making the point, but I think it's the batters that really need to step up, and I think the bowlers will continue to do a good job if we can put enough runs on the board that they can defend.